And good morning, everyone. All about the gyro here on Build Release Tuesday. As in, this is going to be a record and post to the YouTube sort of day. So, a lot of stuff to cover in a very short period of time. So, as always, we are armed with the Heart 74 coffee mug of awesomeness. We do have coffee in here. Let's get to it. So first things first. Before you embrace the new, you gotta usher the old out. So, in brief, I will be promoted to A license in oval, kept my A license on road, highest ratings in both disciplines. We start the new season on 1549 on road. So very, very excited about that. So it's been a great season, a season of steady progression. At least to point two, I am getting tutored currently from Samsoid is my tutor. And I've already had my first lesson where we discovered a flaw in the force feedback settings that I had. And once that was addressed, performance markedly increased. So I'll be continuing to take some lessons from David in the future for the time to come as I invest in myself. Because whether we like it or not, GT3 is here to stay. It's the way of the world. Now, no official series has been quote-unquote decided. Neither has the car been decided, per se. But I can tell you that looking at the build update, there's not a lot of changes to the GT3 class in general. I read a note about them. Evidently, the Merc is getting a little bit more downforce and all that, but that's my Discord dinging in the background. Yes, I have a Discord at the World of Gyro, so make sure that you are a member of that as we build that community out. So, what am I looking to do for next season? Well, I'm definitely looking to do more ovals, for sure. But I also am going to be much more involved in GT3 racing just because of my affiliations that I have with Team Mad, Turn 7 Racing, Mountain Trout, Racing Concerns. I had said publicly it's probably going to be the Ferrari. I'm having some second thoughts. It might be the BMW that I go race in. And that's because this is me driving the car, not me setting up the car. There's a difference. For setups, I'm still going to do Paul Webster's Porsche setups, and also, as aforementioned, BMW setups. I'm starting to come to grips with the Ferrari in terms of setup. So surely Kurt and Ben Summers and a lot of other people are going to be doing Ferrari GT3. So I'll have that available as well. And I still, depending on if the Lambo is still competitive, I may end up dabbling, but not quite as much in the Lambo setup, because for me, the Lambo is actually pretty straightforward to set up. It operates best in certain ranges. So, yeah. So there's going to be some GT3 racing, but it's the other series that I am looking to balance out. Now, I don't have the schedule in front of me. Has not yet been published. But I can tell you what we're probably not going to be racing, put it that way. And let's talk the build update, because it all ties into that. So, this build update, Mercedes F1 comes on, and now we have the iRacing Grand Prix Series, fixed, open, and full distance. This is a huge win for the service. Huge, huge, huge win for the service. And so having one of the leading, if not the leading, Formula One constructor of the current time, I mean, how many have they won in a row now? Quite a few in a row. And coming on board, they're in this exciting fight. They're 28 points ahead of Red Bull right now. So they may win the constructors depending on what happens in Abu Dhabi. Coming on board, and the way that the interview with James Vowles intimated that they have an internal group of people that are on iRacing, and they simply said, you know what, we should do this because, we want to make it better. That's a huge win for iRacing. You look at the IMSA tie-up, the NASCAR tie-up. Now with Mercedes coming on, you got to start thinking, is there going to be a World Championship Series like they wanted to do for the IR01, but now you have the reputable name of Mercedes behind it with their car, the W12, as the vehicle of choice? That is quite significant and forward going, and shows that iRacing is still competing. The other big announcement for cars is for the TCR fans. Now, unlike the W12, where I know I am not good enough to race that car, as in I may not even buy it, just because. You have the TCRs. The new Hyundai Elantra, which that's my car over there. I own a Hyundai Elantra. And a Civic Type R. And the Audi gets updated too. So all three TCRs are updated. One of the series to now look at is the 15-minute TCR Sprint Series, and D-License instantly went from being barely recognizable to now a wonderful entry class to TCRs. But of course, the IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge, which was already pretty good series, now just went way up. So I may end up racing some TCRs as part of my program this particular season, just because there's three of them, and the thought of racing my own car, since I own an Elantra, and now they have one in game, is interesting, to say the least. The two circuits, so Knock Hill, 5 configurations, if I remember correctly, or 6 configurations, is coming. So that's going to be a great junior formula, lesser horsepower circuit. And then the Porsche Development Center at Hockenheim, that's going to be a very interesting thing. And astute research from one of the folks on Mountain Trout Racing Concerns has said, hey, one of these is a handling circuit, and I think that's when they test wet weather driving. Maybe a clue for rain coming in the future. It is not coming in this update. It will be coming, hopefully, in future updates. And then the last thing of real consequence is qualifying. They've now mentioned that if there's no active drivers during a qualifying session, they'll speed up the session, which I like. There's also a ready to race button, so you don't have to wait out other people. So that's going to be a nice value add for some series with that. So yeah, it's exciting times. Not just in iRacing for me, but in my personal life. So I have put in my letter of resignation at my current job. I'll be leaving on the 17th of December, and I've accepted a new role It's an enhanced role with a company here in Nashville. Very, very excited to have been selected. This was a tough interview process. It came down to myself and another candidate. And for companies, that's really, really hard to find more than one qualified candidate these days because the Great Resignation is real. It's impacting everyone, especially IT, which is my discipline. Hard to find qualified people to get in the door. And companies have been all over the place. Some I've had 2 interviews with 2 companies, and they're both local here in Nashville, where I'm scratching my head going, yeah, I think this is why you have a hiring problem. And it's because the companies themselves have some core deficiencies. And I've had at least one, maybe, actually, no, it's actually 2 companies that they were all excited, like, hey, are you on the market? We would love to talk to you. And then they didn't follow up. Even when he said, sure, I would love to talk to you. Here's my times of availability. So it's crazy out there. It is. But there's a part of me that's sad to leave my current job. I have a pretty good team. But there's also a part of me that's very happy to leave. Just depending on how you choose to look at it. I'm very thankful for this job. It allowed me to have stability here. It helped me get this home. And so for that, I will definitely always be grateful and feel blessed for it. So that's it. Pretty simple, to the point, short video. I'm waiting for the build update for the download all to hit here in Nashville. It's been, I think, over an hour, and we're just waiting patiently. But yeah, I'm going to drop another one of these videos a little bit later in the week. And that is hopefully going to be when I have a set schedule with set days. Yes, we're going to set days on the Twitch calendar, just because I got other things I need to plan around. So anyway, my friends, as always, take care of yourself. Take care of one another. God bless.